Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope it's a good day for you. Today is Monday, the 27th of March. That's right, March 27th. It is a Monday. It is the last Monday of this month. My goodness, this year is just about one quarter over. Can you believe it? Time flies. Um, if you're joining here for the first time, my name is Michael. I'm an English teacher in New York, and I always do this here on YouTube at this time every Monday morning. And I am so glad that you have decided to join me. Let's see who's here in the chat. Tammy, welcome. Roberto, hi, Bob. Thank you. Mie, Marcella, Jason, hello, Fab. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. It's my pleasure and honor to help you with English. So, hello, Andre. We will start out the way I always like to start out on a Monday. Wow, I don't know what the problem with the color is here. This shirt is not that blue. Anyway, did you study English this past weekend? Or this past week? Did you learn something new? Perhaps you learned new vocabulary? Did you learn any phrasal verbs? Did you practice? What have you learned? Have you studied something? Have you watched TV? Have you seen any good series that you recommend for learning English? Maybe you've read a good book in English. How about you? What have you studied? What have you done this week? That's right. It's light blue, but it's actually lighter than it appears to be on the camera here. So everything's darker. I have a tan. I listen to a lot of old songs in English. Awesome. Music is a great way to practice another language, because if you sing along with those songs, you're practicing your fluency, you're practicing your pronunciation, and if you're reading the lyrics, you're practicing reading. It's great. I've watched Family Guy. Family Guy is awesome. Family Guy is awesome. I recommend that one if you like it. Patty Page, Matt Monroe, Anne Murray. Now go hi. Wow. You like oldies everything. Oldies music, oldies movies. I've learned grammar, a bit about relative clauses. I need to practice relative clauses, which I've learned to be good at. Nice. Nice. Marcella, what series did you start watching? You like seniors too. Come on over and take care of my mom. Sex Life. I don't know that one. Is that American TV? I'm not familiar with that. I've been watching clips from a show called The Blacklist on YouTube Shorts, and Reddington, I think, is the character's name. Very intense character. Thanks, Tammy. It's better for women, I think. Blacklist is cool. That guy's cool, right? Awesome. I'm okay with watching short clips, for a couple of minutes. I just can't sit and watch a whole series. I just don't have the time. I wish I did. I fell in love with Reddington. Yeah, that guy is awesome. Very, very cool. Hang on one second, because for some reason the chat is in two windows, and that's driving me crazy. Okay. Now we're fixed. Okay. All good. Everything's good. Mobina, welcome. Thanks for joining today. Do me a favor. please share something in the comments. Share a sentence. Share some vocabulary in a sentence. Share an idiom in a sentence. Share a phrasal verb in a sentence. While you're doing that, I want to mention something about something I posted on Instagram yesterday. At the end, in the end. At the end, in the end. There seemed to be a little confusion with that, so I want to clarify. We use at the end when we talk about the point that something stops. It could be a point in time. At the end of the movie, the ship sank. If we talk about Titanic. It could also be a point in a place, like at the end of the street. At the end of this street, there's another street. I guess that's not really the end. He has a house at the end of the beach. Okay, so I think that was the point of confusion that people had there. At the end. In the end means eventually. I waited and waited for the bus. The bus never came. So, in the end, I decided to walk. Also, to the end. In the end means eventually, that's right. Nauko, what do you mean? How do you mean? To the end. Depends on the verb. Let's walk to the end of the block. Because there's a nice cafe at the end of the block. Hope that helps. I know that prepositions are really crazy, but just keep in mind about to. You probably already know that we use to and a verb. I like to eat pizza. I want to drink coffee. The other way that we use to is with a verb of motion. Please give this to Michael. Let's drive to the beach. I sent a package to my sister. Like that. To the end of winter like this. Now, I need a sentence, because without the context, I'm not sure what you're asking or telling. In the end, we will all die. Oh my God. True. Something we don't want to face. Can you say that again? You mean about to? So we use to followed by a verb. We use to before a verb. I like to drink coffee. And we also use to when we use a verb of motion, a verb that shows movement. Like, let's drive to the beach. Let's walk to the station. Please give this to Jack. I sent a package to my sister. So to always shows movement. Hello, Peter. Peter is still riding in his poor little mule. They need to battle to the end. Right. To the end. They need to battle to the end. Yeah, I think in this case, to means until, right? Until the end. Context is king. Context is king. If you remember when you were in school and you studied vocabulary or you studied English in school, you did it. You did it with one sentence at a time, without really context. And there's there's a lot of it. Everything depends on the context. So just because we have the phrase "the end," it doesn't mean that "in the end" and "at the end" are the only pattern, right? I think battle is also a verb of movement. Let's move to the end. Let's go to the end of the block. Let's walk to the end of the beach. We'll battle till the end of the war. I don't know, something like that. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Hello, Elena. Thanks for joining today. Could you tell us the difference of in the end, at the end? Yes, at. What time did you wake up this morning? I'll wait. What time did you wake up this morning? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Anybody? What time did you wake up this morning? Please answer in a sentence. At 6 a.m. Good enough. At 6 a.m. At 6:30. At shows 1 point. At shows 1 point. Let's think about the movie Titanic. At the end, Rose was floating on a suitcase and Jack sunk to the bottom of the sea. Rose! That happened at the end of the movie. At talks about when something, at the end, talks about when something ends. Okay? At the end of the movie, Elsa and Laszlo got on the plane to Lisbon and Rick stayed in Casablanca. At the end. At the end of the movie. At the end of the book. At the end of the street. At the end of the beach. Okay, the place where something ends. But in the end means eventually. I was waiting for the bus and waiting for the bus and waiting for the bus, and the bus never came. So, in the end, I decided to walk. Eventually. At means the point in time. Yeah, that's right. At also means a point in physical space, right? At the end of the block. At the end of the highway. I waited quite a long time to join the Zoom class, and in the end, I had joined 2 classes recently. Right, eventually. I woke up at 7. Thank you, Alex. I woke up at 5:30. My goodness. Or ended up. Yes, I waited for the bus, and I ended up walking. Yeah. End up talks about how a situation finishes. So yeah, that could be used there too. End up is finished. Thank you, Marcella. Mobina, you're welcome. I'm glad that helps. I hope that helps. You can go to my page on Instagram, and I posted that video yesterday. So if you'd like to and you can also see some example sentences. But there just seemed to be a little bit of confusion there. I wanted to kind of clear that up. Clear. Anyway, that's that. And today, thinking of the theme of prepositions, today we're going to look at some phrasal verbs with over. Oh, Michael, why do you always teach phrasal verbs? Oh, good question, Max. That's because phrasal verbs are a huge part of English. And you got to know them. You got to learn them. Because that's how we speak. That's how we communicate. It's an important part of vocabulary. Idioms will make your language more colorful. Right? My boss is a pain in the neck. Or I pigged out at the barbecue over the weekend. So idioms make your language colorful. Phrasal verbs make your language more natural sounding. That's an important point. Or in the Yes, that's correct. I know what you mean there, Bob. By the way, oops, how come that didn't work? There it is. By the way, if you like my English lessons here on YouTube, thank you, and please tell your friends. I appreciate that. If you like my lessons here on YouTube, you might like my other things that I have to help you, which are my self-study English courses, my English learners community. Many of you are here, are in that community, or my one-to-one lessons. There are many ways that I can help you. All you have to do is go to myhappyenglish.com, and you can find out all about that. And just so you know, I've been working really hard on my new TOEIC preparation course. That's right. If you're interested in getting a good score on the TOEIC exam, then I've got just the program for you. All right, that will be coming out, my goodness, soon. I don't want to give you a date, but hopefully soon for sure. Hopefully within the month of April. That's my goal. So I'm working really hard behind the scenes for that. What else I want to tell you about? Oh yeah, and a new podcast coming today. I know a lot of you like my English learning podcast called the Happy English Podcast, and there's a new episode coming out today. All right, enough advertising, Michael. Whoops, wrong button. Okay, phrasal verbs with over. Let's take it. Let's do it. Okay. If this is your first time here, feel free to drop your example sentence in the chat. If you're too shy to do that, then get your notebook, get a pencil or a pen. Remember, you know those, right? We're still in the digital age, but still here. How can you get the Happy English Podcast? Is free. Yes, it is. Anywhere where you check out podcasts, any podcast app, or just go to my website. Go to myhappyenglish.com, and you'll see a button that says podcast. It's right there. Yes. Check it out. All right. So, phrasal verbs with over. The first one is blow over. Ikumi, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Blow over. Blow over. When something blows over, it goes away or it ends without causing any harm or damage. So this idiom, this phrasal verb comes from the weather. And if we look at the second example, the storm will blow over by tomorrow morning, right? Because when there's a storm and heavy weather and there's a lot of wind, right, the storm blows over you. Literally, it blows over your city or over your town. And so blow over means to go away, generally without causing any harm or damage. And we can use that in more of a figurative way, like this. The argument between my friends blew over after we all apologized to each other. Okay? So a situation when you have some kind of tension between people, maybe there's a fight or an argument or a disagreement, and everyone's very like this, and then, you apologize or you discuss it, and then it blows over, it goes away, and there's really no damage or no harm caused. The situation blows over. Scandal. Dun, 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 dun. The scandal has blown over, and the company is back to business as usual. I wonder what company that is. Usually scandals happen with politicians. Blow over. So the bad situation goes away. A divorce of my neighbors did not blow over. There you go. That's a good example. Did not blow over. By the way, I should mention this. Blow over is not separable. Something blows over. That's the pattern. When you study phrasal verbs or any vocabulary, it's good to remember the pattern. Something blows over, or something doesn't blow over. A bad rumor, is that what you mean there? I think you mean rumor. A bad rumor always blows over before you know it. The scandal started to grow legs. I don't think it will blow over soon. Howdy, nice example there. Maybe it won't blow over. All right, keep throwing those examples in the chat. The scandal is blown over and our mayor stepped down several weeks ago. There you go. There's another example. Excellent. The reason, by the way, that I ask you to write an example or come up with an example is because when you do that, you're actually using that new vocabulary, and that's one of the keys to remembering the vocabulary. So that's why we do that. All right. Blow over. Brim over. Brim over. Hang on one second. That's the sound of coffee pouring. I hope my cup doesn't brim over. This part of the cup, the top edge of the cup is the brim. Okay? And if something brims over, it means it overflows, or it's so full it's at the point of overflowing. That's brim over. I hope COVID will blow over quickly. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. Thank you. Thank you, Mie. Brim over. The glass was brimming over with water and it spilled on the table. Oh my goodness. We can use brim over in an abstract way, in a figurative way. My heart is brimming over with joy after hearing the good news. Brim over. My heart is full of joy. It's brimming over with joy. The parking lot was brimming over with cars, and I had to park far away. Brim over. Recently, has something caused you to brim over with joy? Or brim over with happiness? That noise was my dog snoring. I don't know if you can hear that. My heart was brimming over with happiness when I received a Mini Cooper as my birthday gift. Wow, nice birthday present. I'm brimming over with delight after hearing your explanations. Thank you, Bob. Our company is brimming over with gossip about our new boss. Marcella, gossip is not countable. He is brimming over with life and laughter. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's how we use that. That's how we use that. All right, good. Brim over with happiness, brim over with joy, brim over with delight. Yeah, brim over with life and laughter. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Marcel, you're welcome. All right. There are 4 phrasal verbs with over that mean to review or inspect something. Check over, comb over, watch over, and pore over. Let's see these 4. All right. Check over. Check over. Hang on. Okay, I hope that didn't mess up. Okay, good. My heart was brimming over with joy after I spent 1 hour on the Zoom class the other day. Excellent. Excellent. If you are one of the members of my online learners community or other communities that I have, that includes Zoom lessons with me every week on Tuesdays. That's tomorrow, by the way. Okay, let's see. My heart was brimming over with delight after I did cherry blossoms viewing. Excellent. Nice, nice, nice. That's right. It's cherry blossom season in Japan right now. I wish I were there. My eyes were brimming over with tears after I heard that great news. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, good. That's good. All right, so check over, probably that's the most common one. Check over means to examine or review something carefully. I checked over this document. I'm pretty confident that there are no typing mistakes. Let's see. Before submitting the report, I checked it over to make sure there were no errors. Errors, that's hard to say. The mechanic checked over my car to make sure it was in good condition. Actually, I'm going to have somebody check over my car on Friday. I carefully checked over my students' homework to see if they understood the lesson. That's right. I checked over. Do you check things over? Do you check your, when you post something on social media, do you check it over before sending it, before posting it? How about you? What have you checked over recently? If you'd like to check over this document, you can go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. You have to type that in. There's no button. And when you do that, you enter your email address and your name, and then you can download this document here. This document. And it's a free download. That's right. Also, I've been doing live lessons here on YouTube since December of 2021. Yeah. So there's a lot of documents over there. A lot of English lessons. My goodness. So have you checked anything over? Yes? Maybe? I know there's a delay between what I'm saying and what you're hearing. It's about a 5 or 6 second delay. I checked over some typos recently. Thank you, Fab. That's very helpful. I always check over payments again and again before I go to the bank. My patience brimmed over after that horrible event. Oh my goodness. I always check over my tax declarations twice before submitting. Did you check over the small print before you signed the contract? I used to check over each and every email that my husband was sending due to his terrible grammar skills. Oh my God. I usually check over my posts in English if I made any mistakes. Good. Excellent. Those are all good examples. Check over. Check over. I check over my social media posts, but there's always a typo. But thank goodness some of you are good at spotting those for me. Check over. Okay, a similar phrasal verb. I forgot to check over my exam before submitting it. Yikes. Okay, comb over. comb. Comb over. Remember, in the word comb, the B is silent. Comb over means to search or examine something in a very detailed way. You see that? I knew there was going to be a problem. Oh my goodness. In is what I wanted to say there. Michael. I'm going to fix that right here in the old PDF, if I can. In that didn't work well. All right. In a very detailed way. Sorry about that. No, that doesn't work either. I'm trying to fix that. No? No, huh? I'll fix that in, oh! That should say in a. Okay? So the difference between comb over and check over is comb over is very, very detailed. Okay? The police combed over the crime scene to look for clues. I combed over my essay to make sure it was well written. The accountant combed over the tax documents before submitting them to the tax authority. Okay, so comb over is really a detailed review of something. Some things, Andre says, some things just can't be combed over. That's true. Comb through is commonly used. Yes, we use comb through or comb over. I have to comb over some documents before sending them to our clients. Good. I check over my salary each month. Good. I combed over a tax return for my friend yesterday and I found a lot of mistakes in it. Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. I guess it's tax season in a lot of different places. So that's comb over. Comb over. You examine something very detailed, right? Because a comb has, very, very small, fine points, right? So if you comb over something, you look at it in detail. I comb over I can't read. I comb over cash flow before handing it in to my boss. You hand something in to somebody. So you could say, I comb over the cash flow before handing it in. When you add your boss, handing it in to my boss. I have to comb over the banking documents before I sign up for a loan. Maybe I have to comb over the banking documents before I apply for a loan. Usually you sign up for an event. You put your name on a list to join an event. That's sign up. You sign up for a class. You sign up for a marathon. So you sign up for an event. Mia, you're welcome. Remember, your last mistake is your best teacher. Although my typing mistakes don't teach me anything. All right, so that's comb over. And in a similar way, we have watch over. Watch over means to supervise someone or something in order to offer protection or security. A recruiter emailed me after he combed over my resume. Oh, good luck with that. Awesome. Yes, I need to apply for a loan and sign up for class. Yes, I comb over in my closet. And you know what I find? My lovely shirts. You don't need in there, Mobina. I combed over my closet. When you comb over a place, it's like a detective. You must have been looking very, very carefully in that closet. All right, watch over. Again, to supervise someone or something in order to offer protection or security. The prisoner escaped even though the guards were supposed to be watching over him. Okay, paying attention to him. In this case, security. The security guard watched over the building to prevent any unauthorized access. The babysitter watched over the children while their parents were out. Okay, so watch over, supervise someone or something. What's that old song? Someone to watch over me. Who sang that? You need to watch over your dogs even though you're at work. That's right. I need to watch over the dogs and watch over my mom, 93 years old. Ugh. I'm watching over your precious girlfriend. Oh my God, don't tell my wife. Watch over. You have to comb over for some fine print before filling out the document. So you need to comb over the document for some fine print before filling it out. So comb over takes a direct object. Comb over the document. You need to hire a babysitter to watch over your kids if you can't work from home. That's correct. Can you watch over my bags while I'm in the restroom? You know, me, I thought about that. And I think watch over is a little bit more serious. Because we would just say casually, hey, can you watch my bags? But I was thinking of writing that example, but then I thought, no, we don't use watch over in that situation. Can you watch my bags? Can you watch over my stuff for a while? Asit, welcome. Same as Mia's example. I think it's better to say, can you watch my stuff? That's usually what we say. Watch over is more formal, perhaps, or more official, right? The babysitter is hired to watch over the children, same as the security guard. You are welcome. All right, that's watch over. Keep an eye on something. That's right. Can you keep an eye? We usually say that too. Can you keep an eye on my bag? I need to use the restroom. Yeah. When I was in Japan, I used to watch over my nieces and nephews a few days a week. I missed those days. Or keep an eye on. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Watch over traffic lights and watch out for pedestrians. Pedestrians. Ped is, I believe, Latin. Elena can let us know if that's true. For feet. Right? That's why on a bicycle you have pedals. You have a pedal, a gas pedal and a brake pedal in the car. And so pedestrian is a person who walks on the sidewalk. My dog is supposed to watch over the palace so I can hang out with my friends. There you go. You live in a palace. Amazing. Okay, that's watch over. How are we doing on time? Oh my goodness. All right, pour over. Notice the spelling. Notice the spelling. Pour. Pour. Pour over. Pour over means to examine something or read something very carefully, very thoroughly. That's pour. When you pour over something, and we use pour over just when we talk about reading, just to talk about reading something, okay? You're reading it carefully, you're reading it thoroughly, and yeah, carefully and thoroughly. I can't think of another way to explain that. And usually we Hi, my name is Michael. Welcome to the program. We usually use pour over or pour through. Same meaning. The lawyer spent hours poring over the legal documents, reading them very thoroughly. The student pored over the textbook to prepare for the exam. The editor pored over the manuscript to make sure there were no errors. Okay, so pour over. Pour over. You need to pour over the recipe before you start baking. That's right. You pour over the recipe. I used to pour over my homework when I was in junior high. Right. Okay, so pour over is all about reading something very carefully and very thoroughly. I was poring over my Japanese textbook yesterday. Like look over, yes, but pour over is more intense. When I was younger, and I would buy a record. Remember records? Records had notes on the back, or sometimes notes on the inside sleeve, and I would pour over those notes and pour over the lyrics of the songs. Okay, so look over them very carefully and very thoroughly. We have to watch over the process. We cannot let it be unattended. Good. Thanks to Levengook, everyone can now pour over tiny insects under the microscope. I guess that's the inventor of the microscope. See, I'm pretty smart. Pour over. All right. Let's move ahead. Thank you for poring over this page. I pour over our school's articles before I post it on the blog. There you go. Pour over. Pour over. I wish I could be a student in a school. Don't you? I'm poring over my Japanese text to be ready for the next lesson. Excellent. That's what I was doing yesterday morning. I was poring over my textbook. I spent a lot of time poring over financial documents to work on my final project. Excellent. Pour over. Okay, you read it very thoroughly, very carefully. When I had pored over the project sketch, I found a lot of mistakes. Excellent. Zuhair, thank you. Welcome. Pour over. Again, let me just take a second and repeat. The reason I ask you questions and I ask you to come up with sentences is because your own example is what's going to help you remember the vocabulary. I talk about that in my vocabulary workshop, which, by the way, is free, and you can get that at myhappyenglish.com as well. Do pour and pour have the same meaning? Yes. Pour the coffee, pour over the document. Same pronunciation. I got my supervisor to pour over my proposal. All right, good. Pour over. All right, let's move ahead. Flip over. Flip over. Flip over has a couple of meanings. Today we'll look at the one like this. Flip over means to turn something over quickly. Flip over. Here's my phone. Flip over, flip over, flip over. The chef flipped over the pancake to cook the other side. I haven't had pancakes in a while. I accidentally flipped over the book I was reading and I lost my page. Oh my goodness. The strong wind flipped over the trash cans on the street. Flip over. When was the last time you flipped over pancakes or flipped over eggs? Yesterday morning for breakfast, we had fried eggs, and my mother wanted hers flipped over. So I flipped over my mother's eggs. I often pore over papers from literature related to my research topic. That's it. Thank you. Flip over. Have you flipped over anything in your kitchen recently? Did you flip over a pancake? Flip over an egg? Flip over a slice of French toast? Flip over. The other day, stormy weather, flipped over the recycling bin in front of my house. Another means excited. That's right. The children flip over that TV program. That's right. I flip over teaching English. I get excited. Flip over. Turn over something quickly. I didn't include that meaning in today's lesson because I've done that lesson several times and I thought we would do something new. But yes, flip over means turn something over quickly or to get excited. My dogs flip over chicken. It's a true story. Flip over a coin. That's right. Flip over a coin. We flip over learning English. When I was playing cards, I asked to flip me another card over. Flip another card over. I don't think we need me there. Flip something over. Flip the pancake over. Flip over the pancake. Cats can magically flip over and always land on their paws. Paws. P-A-W-S. Paws. Pawn is a chess piece. Yeah, cats are interesting. Cats can do that. I wonder how they do that. Those cats. Flip over. All right. Don't confuse. I flip over a coin if I have trouble deciding where to eat out. Good. Don't confuse that with flip out over. Flip out over. Flip out over. Flip out over. I flipped over the hamburger patty yesterday. I haven't had a good burger. I haven't had a good burger in a long time. I'm really dying for a burger. All right, flip out over. Flip out over means to become very angry or upset about something. Okay, this is a little different. Jack's boss flipped out over the mistake he made in the report. Oh my God, my mom flipped out over the mess in my room. Jenny flipped out over. Don't look at that example. That's a bad example. Sorry, we're going to cut that one. Don't look at that. There you go. Okay. Sorry. Going to get rid of that comment. Sorry. My mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. So if somebody flips out over something, they get very, very upset. Okay? I will fix this document before I upload it. I flip out over every time I learn about ridiculous things that our politicians do. So, Tammy, flip out over something. I flip out over ridiculous things our politicians do every time. Flip out over needs the object. That's the point here. Jack's boss flipped out over the mistake. My mom flipped out over the mess in my room. Don't flip out over mistakes you find in this document. That works better. Flip out over something. Flip out over needs the direct object. Don't flip out over mistakes on this document. Ay, 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 ay. I flip out over my English mistakes at times. Don't flip out over your mistakes in English. Look, I make mistakes too. That's 2 in one document. My goodness. All right, let's see if we can finish up these. Fork over. Fork over. Fork over means to give or pay something, usually unwillingly. Okay, if you have to give something or pay something that you don't want to do, you fork it over. I had to fork over $150 for the parking ticket I got in the city. The company had to fork over a large sum of money to settle the lawsuit. The teacher made the students fork over their phones during the exam. Fork over. Unwillingly give or pay. A student flipped out over his scores. Yikes, I flipped out over the unreasonable things our politicians do. Good. I lost my place in the book when the pages flipped over in the wind. Oh my goodness. Fork over. Yes, parking tickets and traffic tickets here in New York are very expensive. You have to fork over a lot of money. Fork over. It's tax season. Many people have to fork over their taxes. That's the dog. I recently had to fork over the service charge in a Chinese restaurant. Oh my goodness. The boat overloaded with passengers flipped over while crossing the river. Oh my God. Horrible. All right, let's move ahead in the interest of time. Hidden services of my cellular provider always make me fork over what? Fork over what? Fork over what? Fork over needs a direct object. Fork over what? Fork over too much money? Maybe that's what you want to say. All right, gloss over. We'll just gloss over that last typing mistake. Gloss over means to ignore or avoid talking about something unpleasant or uncomfortable. Fork over is equal to cough up. That's correct. I had to cough up $150 for the parking ticket. When you try to avoid talking about an unpleasant or uncomfortable thing, you gloss over that thing. The politician tried to gloss over the controversial issue during the interview. They tried to avoid that topic. The boss glossed over the mistakes made by his team to avoid confrontation. Tim's parents tried to gloss over the argument they had before sitting down for their family dinner. Gloss over. Avoid talking about something or ignore something. We had better gloss over. You don't need to in that case. Tammy, check today's Instagram post. That's the lesson I taught. We had better gloss over politics or religion most of the time. You don't need to gloss over that, but I don't prefer to talk about those topics during an English lesson. I'm going to gloss over my mistakes. That's right. Well, 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 look who woke up. Hey, buddy. Mr. Snorri. Was that you snoring? Max just woke up. Max, you want to come and say hi? Come here, buddy. Who wants this? I'll get him to come here. You want this? Come here, buddy. Come here, come and say hi. The whole world is watching. Come on, let's go. Come here, buddy. No? Okay. All right. Max is too shy. To is not needed in the above sentence. That's right. Had better. My boss finds a way to gloss over his shortcomings. Oh my God. People tend to gloss over elephants in their rooms. That's right. That's right. All right, I think we have time for one more. That's it. I'm sorry. Hand over. Hand over. Hand over means to give something to someone, usually officially. When you officially give something to somebody, we use hand over. If you give your friend a birthday present, don't use hand over. Okay? Hand over is official. The cashier handed over my change after I paid for my purchase. Right? That's official. That's the cashier's job. The robber was forced to hand over his weapon to the police. That's official. The teacher handed over her attendance book to the school principal. That's official. So you officially give something to somebody. We use hand over. All right, one more. Just in the interest of time, why don't we just finish up? Mull over. Many of you might know this. Hong Kong was handed over to China in 1997. That's correct. All right, mull over means to consider or think about something carefully. Okay? When you have a very heavy decision that involves something big, like getting married or buying a house or quitting your job or changing your career or getting a dog. Big decisions need mulling over. We usually see someone handing over tissues on the street. They still do that in Japan? Wow. All right, mull over. I need some time to mull over the job offer before making a decision. That's a big decision to get a job offer. The boss is mulling over opening a new branch office in Boston. That's a big decision to open a branch office of a company somewhere. You don't need to answer me right now. Take some time to mull it over. Take some time to think about it. Mull it over. Well, thank you for mulling over learning with me. Every day they still hand out tissues in Japan. That's really, really interesting. All right, that, my friends, brings us to the end of today's live English lesson here on YouTube. Woo! I will upload this document when we're done and I fix the typos. All right, my counsel made me fork over another 3 sessions, maybe. I'm not sure what that means there. All right, thank you for joining me today. Remember, go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. Equally, you can go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. That's here. You have to type that. You put in your name and your email address, and you can download that. And then for you, that's going to show up when you go to the My Stuff menu. It'll be in there. All right. And also go to myhappyenglish.com and check out my other online courses. You'll be glad that you did. I will be glad to see you right here next week on YouTube. Hey, thank you so much for studying with me here today. I really, really appreciate that. Keep in mind, learning another language is not always easy, but it's not impossible, right? Not impossible. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. I am here to help you on your journey. Thank you for learning English with me today. See you next time.